Grimmel was not the original person to come up with and successfully chemically control dragons. On his journey, another person provided him with what he needed to take control of any dragon he desired, and today I'm going to explain who she was and how Grimmel expanded on her ideas to create an army of obedient puppets. Hello, I'm Isaac from Wotso Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people. On my channel, I focus on spreading magic by examining Disney films, so if you are new here, consider subscribing. And as always, if you would like to continue to look into the story of Grimmel, you can find the links to the movies and the resources I used in the description. Grimmel was a tactical, ruthless, and brilliant dragon hunter who almost brought the Night Fury to extinction, but he didn't take part in that massacre alone. Through his journey to hunt the Night Furies, he comes into control of a pack of Death Grippers, admitting that he used their own venom against them. Grimmel was able to learn how to force dragons to carry his airship, have them defend him, and even have these creatures fight and kill their own kind. But how did Grimmel discover he could have so much dominion over these powerful, lethal, and deadly dragons? Grimmel was able to accomplish these feats of controlling dragons because of the work conducted by the alchemist Ire Stormheart, according to Dragon's Dawn of New Riders. Years before Grimmel's attacks on Toothless, Ire was born as the daughter of King Stormheart of the Mongrel tribe, which was a group formed on the premise of creating superior human warriors. Many of the greatest warriors of the time, when the tribe was forming, came together along with brilliant minds in hopes of breeding ideal individuals. When Ire grew up, though, the Mongrel tribe was a group of highly intelligent and highly trained warriors, and Ire proved she was no exception. Ire was ferocious and smart, and while she grew up within the royal family, she would never be able to live out her life as a leader like her father because of the horrible Drago Bloodfist. When Drago attacked the Mongrel tribe, he ransacked and murdered many of the people, including Ire's father, which forced Ire out of the life she once knew. Now, as a woman who was raised to be a warrior who felt wronged and cheated, Ire sought revenge against those who had hurt her family and any tyrants who existed that were like Drago. To accomplish these feats of facing off against a warlord like Bloodfist, though, she knew she needed assistance, so she began studying and learning to manipulate dragons. After some successes of handling dragons from her research, she attracted the attention of a dragon trapper she only knew as G, who was, of course, Grimmel. The idea of being able to completely control a dragon enticed the dragon-hating man, for he understood their power even though he felt superior to them. Therefore, to assist in Ire's research and to remain close to her project, they formed a partnership in which Grimmel supplied her with dragons to experiment on, and in exchange, she would give him a special drug that she was developing that could subdue and manipulate dragons. Ire's original mixture was made of Grimmora venom and dragonvine bulbs, much different from the substance Grimmel would one day use on his Death Grippers. But he was intrigued by what she was accomplishing and the potential this idea was of chemically controlling powerful dragons. While Ire developed and refined her formula, she also worked out various methods of deliveries, collars, and vials that could allow a rider to hold full control of dragons for massive amounts of time. But she wouldn't execute on these designs, for she was more focused on her next step in revenge now that her serum was consistently successful. Ire was more interested in creating one of the strongest and most threatening dragons in the world, a hybrid dragon, that she hoped would be under her control. Her tribe's experimentation with human breeding led her to desire to create with the dragons Grimmel brought, a dragon that had the characteristics of multiple grand dragons, and again, Grimmel was impressed and interested in what Ire could accomplish. Eventually, through great research and perseverance, she was able to successfully blend 3 species of dragons together that are unknown to us. Hiccup would name this hybrid later on as the Chimeragon. This dragon was one of the greatest accomplishments Ire Stormheart had ever completed, for she had synthesized a dragon with multiple fire powers, including electrical fields, freezing breath, and fire blasts, and was also agile, fast, absorbed attacks, and could travel far distances. The Chimeragon was an extremely impressive and dangerous dragon, especially when she had the formulas to fully control it. But after her goal had been completed, Grimmel felt compelled to have what his partner had grown. With the sense that Ire had completed her purpose for him and developed everything he could desire to conquer and destroy the dragons of the world, Grimmel saw no reason to continue their partnership. Thus, during the Forever Wing Awakening, in which a dragon of gigantic size rises out of a mountain, Grimmel took the opportunity during the chaos to betray Ire by stealing her serums, designs, and her newly formed dragon. But Ire's discoveries were too good to be true. Chimeragons may have had extraordinary abilities which only became stronger as it grew, but it was embedded with an ability to grow at an extremely rapid rate, which meant that its life would be extremely short. Desperate to ensure his dragon's life could last, since he would likely never have the chance to possess another one, Grimmel traveled to Scriven Rock, which is an island of scholars, in hopes of finding a way to stop the aging process with the vast amount of knowledge and scrolls in that location. But he came up short. He not only was unable to prolong the powerful dragon's life, but a young scholar named Scribbler also let the Chimeragon be free. Without the Chimeragon, Grimmel was forced to identify an alternative species to control with the serum Ire had created, which eventually led him to the terrible Death Grippers. When Grimmel began to observe and study the Death Grippers though, he soon realized that he didn't need to go through the process to concoct Ire's formula any longer, for the Death Grippers were able to secrete a poison that held many of the same properties that he had observed over time in Ire's dragon-controlling solutions. And even better for Grimmel, the Death Grippers were not immune to their own poison.
These? They're dragon killers, drugged into obedience with their own venom.
With the determination to control this species with their own venom, he builds and perfects Ire's designs for harnesses and bridles for drug delivery, along with the vials he would need to embed within the dragons. And with this execution of these plans, he was able to turn the Death Grippers into murderous monsters, who were forced to kill and consume their own kind. As the one who inserted the drugs, they were under the full control of Grimmel. The venom of the Death Grippers that Grimmel had discovered was as strong as it would ever need to be, since nothing could sway these dragons' minds from resisting the chemicals that were placed within them. Not even the Alpha could stop it. While the Alpha could typically take over the collective dragon minds, the Death Grippers Grimmel possessed are completely unaffected.
Not even your precious Alpha could control them. They serve me, and only me.
And this poison from the Death Grippers was not only capable of controlling the species that secreted it, but any dragon, including the mighty Light Fury. With these drugs within them, a poisoned dragon would fly peacefully for their master. A single whistle brought the Death Grippers to come to Grimmel's protection and destroy whatever lied in front of their master. And a common point in a single direction was enough to give Grimmel's Death Grippers all the targeting they needed to attack. They were coordinated, relentless soldiers for Grimmel. Out of the tragedy of Ire's life came research that would guide the dragon hunter Grimmel to grow his ability to conquer and destroy dragonkind. Ire showed Grimmel it was possible to fully control formidable dragons using serums, and out of that realization came Grimmel's discovery of the Death Grippers and their venom. With a potent and effective mind control solution and the designs from Ire for collars and vials to deliver that serum, he was able to understand how to submit any dragon into absolute obedience. Man, it feels great to be able to talk about How to Train Your Dragon again. Honestly, I just never want to forget how wonderful a franchise this is, and I'm so glad I could cover this topic today. And if you agreed, let me know below, along with any other ideas you have for future videos. To see more How to Train Your Dragon videos, like the differences between Light and Night Furies, you can find a link to those videos in the description. And if you'd like to continue to see more magical discussions like this one, then don't forget to click that subscribe button and the beautiful bell if you're new. Thank you to my wonderful patrons over on Patreon who are amazing supporters of my videos. And as always, thanks for watching and have a magical day.